Hi, welcome to another online Pilates mat class. Joseph Pilates is known for a number of amazing quotes, and one of them is, "You are only as young as your spine is flexible." So that's what today's class is all about, flexibility in the spine. So come and join me on the mat and let's get started. So we're going to bring ourselves down and just gently round the spine down, one vertebra at a time. If you don't like to start straight down on your mat, you can always do a couple of roll downs, a few standing exercises before joining me down here. But when you're ready, we're going to bring those feet hip distance apart. Bring the arms down by your side. Just close your eyes for a moment and feel the connection of your body into the mat, into the earth below. Feel the soles of the feet, the big toe, the little toe, the heels. And just notice whether you're rolling out or maybe in. Try to bring that weight evenly and gently down. Then moving up through the legs, we want the ankles, the knees, the hips in alignment. So not letting the knees drop together or fall wide. But if we focused on the position of the feet, we should already be in that alignment. Just bring your awareness to your pelvis, your low back. Notice whether you're posterior tilting or anterior tilting that pelvis, and just bring it into that neutral position. As you breathe in, we're going to engage those deepest core muscles. Think about zipping up and then scooping belly button in and up. Keeping that core connection now as we move up the spine, feeling the connection of the vertebra from the low back, middle back, upper back. And just let those back ribs sink into the mat. Feel how that opens across the collarbones, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the back of the neck. And just notice the opposition and the length from the tail right up through the top of the head. Take another breath here. Core is engaged, and as you exhale, we're going to start our pelvic tilt, picking the spine up through low back, middle back, upper back, coming into that nice line of knees, hips, shoulders, engaging through the back body. Think about actively pulling the heels up towards you and reaching down through those arms. Notice how that kicks into the hamstrings. You're standing into your feet on that breath in. And then as you exhale, sink from the sternum, one vertebra at a time. Going down through upper back, middle back, curling rather than flattening the spine into the floor. We're going to take another 5 bridge, so just work at your own pace. Let the breath guide you. Exhale as you pick the vertebra up, one at a time. Inhale at the top. Exhale as you release. Thinking about articulating the spine. Peeling up at the top. Really engaging. Standing into those feet, pushing the thigh bones away, pulling the heels towards you, and sink. Three more. Use the breath. This time as you come up, think about activating down through the big toes and notice how that engages into the inner thighs. You can think about maybe holding a yoga block between your thighs or a small cushion, just to create that awareness so that we're activating into those adductors as well. I've lost count. I think this might be our last one. Let's make it our last one. Breathing in at the top. Breathing out as you release. And as the pelvis lands, just let the arms slide out into a T position. Bring the legs together, engaging those inner thighs that we just talked about. We're going to take some hip rolls. So coming towards the screen first, keeping the legs together, keeping the opposite shoulder down into the mat. Exhale, use those core muscles. Think about pulling those back ribs down towards the mat, dragging the pelvis back to that start position, and take the knees away from your screen. Inhaling over, exhaling up. So think of this move as a core movement. It's very easy to just kind of control it from the legs. So I want you to think about working from those back ribs first. So we're pulling the back ribs, low back lands, pelvis, back to center and across. One more like this. So depending on how your low back's feeling today, you might want to stay with this. If not, we're going to float to tabletop. One leg, both legs, keeping those knees and the inner thighs engaged, and just notice whether the ribs have splayed, whether the back is lifted. So we want to focus on that core connection, pulling down into the mat. And let's take the knees towards the screen. Exhale, back to center. Other direction. Inhale over. Exhale up. It's not about bringing the knees all the way to the floor. It's about controlling the movement. So if you start to feel like you're losing it or that opposite shoulder is lifting, just reduce the range a little. I'm going to do one more each direction like this. Hold in the center for a second. One more set. We're going to go towards the screen. Your option is to hold it here, otherwise you're going to extend the top leg, bend, and draw back to center. Let's take it the other way. Head across, top leg extends, bends, and center. One more each direction towards the screen. Extend, bend, and center. And away. Extend and bend and center, and just draw the knees in, lift the head if you like, curling up. Just take the head from side to side. And bring the feet down. All right, so just repositioning yourself. Well, I've ended up halfway down my mat, but maybe you don't need to reposition yourself, but I do. All right, so we're going to have the feet flat on the floor, bringing them hip distance apart again. And we're going to take the arms overhead. Now make sure that core connection is there first, so that we keep that core connection as we bring the arms overhead. I'm going to take a breath here. As you exhale, arms are going to come up through the air as they're reaching to the sky. Lift the head, look to the knees. Exhale, press down with the arms as you curl up into that chest lift. And slowly release. Head lands as the fingers reach to the sky, and then take the arms overhead. So we're going to do another 4 of those. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Create resistance as you pump down with the arms. Pull the belly button down, imprint the low spine, and lift into that chest lift. One more.
So I'm going to hold this one up. I'm going to bring one palm on top of the other, and we're going to rotate the torso. So you're reaching to the outside of the right knee, coming back through center without dropping down, reach to the outside of the left. And center. Right, center, left. I want you to think about not just taking the arms across. Try to keep the arms where they are, but you're rotating from the waist, from the ribs, to get that rotation, really heating into the obliques. And center. Got one more each direction. Stay with it. Across. So I'm not moving my arms, I'm moving through my torso. And across. Back to center. Can you lift a little higher? Hold it here. Breathe. And exhale as you release. Bring the head down. Bring the arms by the side. Just windshield wiper the legs a couple of times. And then come back to that start position. So I'm going to take the leg closest to the screen and just draw that knee in towards the chest. So just hug it in for a moment. Take a little flex and point of the toes. And then staying here, just notice whether you're pushing into that supporting foot, whether you've curled and taken that posterior tilt in the pelvis, because we want to keep that neutral long spine even as we draw that leg in. And then we're going to take the supporting foot up off the floor, reach the leg to the ceiling, and we're going to flex it as we kick it down. It's up to you how low you go. You can keep it high if you want. Point as you draw it back up. Flex it down. Point it up. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. My hold at the top. Let go of the bent knee. Place the foot on the floor. And focus on keeping the ankle, knee, hip alignment as we come into some circles. So we're going to take them down, out to the side, in, and pause. So we drop straight down the midline, externally rotate if you like as you go out wide, coming back in. You can keep that external rotation on as well. So it just depends how your hip is feeling. I'm going to keep it, but you can keep the leg parallel as well. So you choose. Supporting legs stay still and anchored. Hip is anchored into the floor. 2 more. Last one this direction. And then we reverse it. If the external rotation gets too much at any stage, you can release it to parallel. 4 more. Feel like you're losing the connection and wobbling about a bit, just reduce the size of the circle. Hold it here. If you took the external rotation, just release it. Take the hand behind the thigh, draw the leg in for a hamstring stretch. Flex the foot to deepen the stretch into the calf. Release the flexion. Bend the knee. Hands are behind the thigh. Take a breath. Brace the abdominals. We're going to come into a chest lift. So you're going to exhale as you curl it up. I want you to think about pushing the thigh, or pushing the hamstring, into the hands. Pulling on the hands. Oh, the first one's a little tricky. Coming up. Your knee is bent. You can straighten it here if you like. And think about lifting your heart. So we want to have a nice straight spine here. Then bend the knee again. Think about your roll back. We're going to tuck the tail under, tip the pubic bone up, go into your posterior tilt and curl your spine down, keeping your knee over your hip. It's a little tree variation. We're going to do a couple more of those. Breathing in to prepare. Lift the head, curling up. Exhale, push into the hands. As you come up, think about that lift of the heart. Straighten the leg if you can. If you can't, you don't have to, don't worry. And let's roll it back. Rounding down. Oh, that was my elbow. And again, lift, press. As the sit bones connect, send the heart forward, draw the shoulders down the back, straighten the leg, release, and roll it back. All right, so we're going to do 3 more. It's your choice to stay here. Otherwise, we can take the legs straight, breathing in. Lift it up. If you've gone straight, take the hands a little bit further up. And as you lift your chest. And then release. Climb back. Down that leg. 2 more. Breathing in. And lift. Climbing up the leg. Exhale. Find length. Round down. Last one. Lift, lift, lift. And release. All the way down. And then just hug that knee into the chest. So we're going to continue to hug that knee in. And we're going to do the same on the other leg. So let's bring that supporting leg up to the sky. And just flex and point the foot. And you can flex and point the supporting leg as well. We did that on the other side. So just flex and point it a couple of times too. Ready for the leg drops? We're going to flex it down on an inhale. Point it up on the exhale. Three more. Holding that leg up, release the supporting leg, foot to floor, ankle, knee, hip in alignment. Ready for the circles. We drop straight down. If you want that external rotation, you take it. If not, stay parallel. Breathing in and out. Two more. Supporting side stays anchored. You can rest your hand on your hip if it helps you to keep reminding yourself about the stability. Let's reverse the circle. Four more. And two. And one. Release the external rotation. Bend the knee into the chest. We're going to take the hands behind the thigh. Holding on, remember that tree. Breathing in, knee over hip. Lift into your chest lift. Push your thigh into your hands as you curl up. And then as the sit bones connect, lift and lengthen the spine. And then we round down. Add that little extension of the leg at the top if you want. And release. And then we've got the option for the next three to keep the legs straight. It's up to you. Find that lift of the heart. So we want that long spine. And then flex and round back as you climb down the leg. 2 more. Last one. And just bringing the knee into the chest. Take the other knee in. Take a little hug, little rock side to side. Release the feet for a moment. And just reset yourself on your mat. When you're ready, core is engaged. We're going to float the knees into tabletop. Bring them together. Take the arms up to the sky. Palms are facing each other. Take a breath as you exhale. We're going to lift up. Take the hands onto the knees, just in front of the knees. And use that. Push your shins into your hands to lift a little bit higher. And then release back. Take a breath in. Exhale. Come up. Take hold. And curl. And release. 2 more like that. Come up, find that height. Can you release one arm by your ear? And back. And the other. And back. Lift a little bit higher each time. Reach and back. 2 more like this each side. Pulling that navel down towards the spine, scooping in and up. From here, can you let go with both arms and take hold? Lift a little higher. 1 more. Both arms. Take hold. Lift a little higher. Bring the knee closest to the screen in towards you. Hands on top of the knee. Extend the other leg out to 45 degrees. We're going into our single leg stretch variation. We go switch, switch. So just letting the hands reach the very top of the shin. Just below the knee. Switch, switch. Breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, stay with it, in, 1 more set, out, bring both knees in, let's bring the knees over the hips, bring 1 foot down, both feet down, release, head and shoulders, take a little rock, side to side. So we're going to move from single leg stretch into double leg stretch. We're going to do a little variation with the arm movements today. So we're going to reverse the arm movements. So if you're not sure, you can have a quick look and then join in with me. But we're going to start in the same position, that tabletop. So core switched on, we float the knees over the hips. We're going to bring the knees together, engage those inner thighs. Take a breath, lifting up, bringing the hands onto the tops of the shins. So the legs are going to extend away to 45 degrees and the arms are going to come by the ears like we always do. And then we're going to sweep round into that start position. But we're going to reverse the arm movement this time. So as the legs shoot out, the arms are going to go out wide by ears and then everything comes in. You got it? And then we reverse it. Shoot the arms and legs out. Sweep the arms round as the knees come in. This time as you shoot the legs out, arms come round by ears and in. If you've got it, join me when you're ready. Shoot everything out. Sweep round and in. Legs shoot out, arms go wide and in. Both arms and legs shoot out. Sweep round and in. Legs shoot out, Arms go wide and in. Stay with that rhythm. Reach. Circle. Reach. One more set. Reach. Circle. Circle. Reach. Did you get it? A little bit of coordination. And release the head down. Just take a little rock from side to side. So from here, bringing the feet down for a moment or two, take the hands and bring them behind the head, just supporting the head, lacing your fingers. We want to have the elbows just off the floor, so in your peripheral vision, not hugging in around your ears, but not so wide that you're popping your chest forward. So think about your spinal length, your core connection. Think about sliding those shoulder blades apart and bringing the elbows in line in your peripheral vision there. And we're going to float the knees over the hips. We're going to keep them hip distance apart. And you're going to come into some toe taps. So just bringing the leg closest to the screen. Tap and switch. Tap and in. Tap and in. Tap. So keep that rhythm going. The further down the mat you tap, the more you're going to feel this in your low abdominals. But just be mindful of that back arching. And another thing to think about when we talk about toe taps is it's quite tempting to just bend the lower part of the leg. I don't know if you can see there the difference. What we're looking at doing is keeping that nice 90-degree angle at the knee and extending from the hip. So there's no movement in the lower part of the leg. You stay at that hinged 90-degree at the knee. Good. Stick with it. We'll do a couple more each side. Hold it here. Second set, if you're happy to, we're going to exhale it up into a chest lift. Same thing. And really resist on the way out. Resist. Imagine that you've got a TheraBand wrapped around your thighs. And you're having to push against it to reach away from the hip. One more each side. If you can stay with me, we're going to go into crisscross. So we're going to alternate. Front elbow goes towards back knee. And switch. Switch and switch. So try to keep the shoulders lifted. Rotating from the ribs. Switch. 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 For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, both feet down. Release the hands as you bring the head down. And just take the legs long. Reach the arms overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. I'm going to revisit this arm position in a minute with our next move, but if you're like me, you've really opened through the front of the body. You get a nice abdominal stretch after all those curl ups and crunches. So just bring the arms back by your side as you bend the knees and bring your feet in nice and close for bridge. So we did some warm-up bridges earlier. We're going to take it up a bit of a level from that. So feet again, hip distance apart, ankles, knees, hips in alignment. Arms by your side, just finding that neutral spine and core engagement. And once you're there, let's take the arms overhead. Palms are facing up. Just making sure that you haven't popped those ribs or arched the low back. So think of that zip and hollow. Keeping the arms overhead, we're going to articulate the spine up into our bridge. Breathing in at the top. And just making sure those shoulders aren't hugging up around the ears. So just draw the shoulders away from the ears. And then sink through the sternum. So you might feel a little bit more unsteady than our warm-up bridges. The arms by your side. So if you don't like the arms overhead, just bring them back down by your side for more stability. Otherwise, we're going to stay here. Exhaling up. Inhaling at the top, you're still thinking about pushing those thigh bones away, standing into the feet and pulling the heels up towards you. Exhale. Just placing the vertebrae down one at a time. 2 more. Last one. Remember those big toes activating. Feel how that works into the inner thighs. We're going to hold at the top and lift the heel closest to your screen and lower, and then switch. So just taking heel raises, coming up onto the ball of the foot and switch. Lift, lower, lift, lower. One more each leg. Good. Holding your bridge, we're going to bring the arms through and anchor down into the floor. And as you do that, bringing the weight into the left foot, I'm going to bring the right knee up over the hip and tap the toe. So keeping that right angle, just like we did in the toe taps, but with our body up in bridge. If this is too intense, just bring your back down onto the floor. 3 more. So you're really standing into that supporting leg and keeping the pelvis level. Last one. Bring that foot down. We're going to transition. And again, up, tap. Activate the triceps here. Push down through the backs of the arms. 3 more. Last one. Both feet down. If you want a little challenge, let's raise those heels. Bring the arms overhead once more. Keep the arms overhead. Keep the heels raised. Slowly rounding the spine down. And as you lower, we're going to bring the arms and the heels back to the floor. Good job. Bring the knees in. Take your hands behind your thighs. We're going to take a little rock and roll to bring ourselves up. So just lifting your head, bringing your nose towards your knees. Pick your tail up and start to rock. If rocking doesn't feel right for you, please feel free to bring yourself up to seated, whatever way feels good. But I'm telling you, this feels amazing on my lower back, so I'm going to stay here a little bit longer. 2 more. Last one. Let's take a little hover at the top. Find that biting point and release the feet down. Well done. All right, we're going to take the legs out. So we're going to do some spine stretch and some spine twist. For those of you with tight hamstrings, you're going to love me today because we are going to have a slight bend in the knees for our spine stretch. So if you think about feet out towards the edges of the mat, come right up onto those sit bones, find length in the spine, just let your hands rest on your thighs. Let's give those shoulders a nice big roll. And then focus on drawing the shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. So you can have your feet flexed, you can relax your feet, whatever feels right. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, core is engaged. We're going to start to nod the head. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to round through the spine and let the hands just slide down the outsides of the legs. Breathing into that stretch at the bottom. And breathing out as you start to come back up. And we're stacking our spine up against that imaginary wall. So just think about placing one vertebra on top of the other, bringing the head up tall. Okay, let's do 4 more like that. Exhale as you round. Think about scooping the belly in and up and lifting through those back ribs. And if you want more today, and you've got nice loose hamstrings, lucky you, you can take those legs straight. Otherwise, just stay with me. Think of that scoop in and up. So there's two things going on. We're lengthening out through the arms and through the legs, but we're pulling back through the abdominals. Something to really focus about in our spine stretch. So there's that opposition going on. We pull back as we reach forward. Last one, I'm going to change it slightly here. So you're rounding forward just like you've done. And then when you get into this rounded flexed spine position, take hold of what you can. It might be your shins, might be your ankles, might be your toes. I want you to think about pressing the sternum forward and up. Use your arms to help you draw your shoulders back and come from a flexed spine into a straight spine. Almost slight extension here as well if it feels good. And then flex forward again and roll back up. All right, so you've got it. We're going to do 4 more like that. So going into flexion first, breathing in at the top. Exhale, rounding forwards, flexing the spine forward, pulling through with the abdominals. Once you get to that point, hold on here and push the sternum forward, lift the heart, draw the shoulders down the back, find length, maybe even slight extension. And then release into your flexion and roll it up. Just let the breath guide you. Exhale. Take hold and lift on an inhale. Flex on an exhale. Inhale as you come up. 2 to go. Last one. And as you come up into that straight spine position, let's just bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to come into diamond. I'm just going to turn to face you. For this one, we're going to get set up for spine twists. So you don't want your heels up too close. That's more of a triangle, maybe? I don't know. So think about a diamond shape with the legs. Soles of the feet are connected. Let the knees fall out to the side. If this isn't a comfortable position, you could place some yoga blocks or some cushions underneath your knees if that's more comfortable for you. And we're going to again find that lovely straight spine position and use the hands on the shins to just lift and lengthen the spine. And then bring the arms out in front. I'm going to fold left over right into that genie shape. Draw the shoulders down away from the back. I'm going to rotate. So I want you to look at your wrist where your watch is. And you want to keep that position in the center of the chest as you rotate. So what I mean by that is that if we focus on that, it stops us leading with the elbow. And it makes us lead with the chest. And exhale back to center. Let's take it the other way. Inhale. And exhale. Good, so you're really going to feel this one into the waist. Wrapping from the ribs. And just checking that position, keeping your wrists in line with the center of your chest. So you're not moving at the shoulders. One more each direction.
And then as you come back to center, simply separate the arms. Exactly the same movement, but we're going to keep the arms wide here. So we turn. I'm going to add a little pulse, pulse. The pulse comes from the torso. Opposite direction. Pulse, pulse. So it's like you're wringing out a towel. You wring it once and you wring it twice, a little bit more. And center. You wring it once, twice, and center. I think we could do 3 this time. Let's wring it once, twice, 3 times, and center. Once, twice, 3. So you're aiming to just deepen that rotation on those pulses. And the arms stay wide. So avoid the temptation of sweeping the arm in front. Can keep that alignment of wrist, shoulder to opposite shoulder to wrist. 1 more each side. 3, 2, 1. And center, last one. 3, 2, 1. And center. Bring the arms down. Let's give the shoulders a roll. Bring the knees together. Let's take a little rock from side to side. And we're going to take it down into side line. So we're going to keep the body nice and long today. So you can use the back of the mat as a guide to help you. We want to line up ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, reaching out with that bottom arm. We're going to flex the feet and think about length from armpit to hip. We want to keep that length. So as the legs move, instead of crunching in and sinking the waist, we need to think about lifting out and up. So it's all about the length. We're going to anchor the bottom leg into the mat first off, and we're going to just take top leg lift and lower. So this is not a big movement. Exhale. Inhale, but I'm really focusing on lengthening out of my hip. I'm going to do 1 more like that. So that's set number 1. Set number 2, same thing, top leg lifts, but this time we keep it still and we bring the bottom leg up to meet it. Both come down together, hover, don't rest. Top leg up. So you can see now why I wasn't taking that top leg very high to start with. Top leg, bottom leg, inner thigh squeeze. Both come down. 2 more. Top, bottom squeezes up to meet. Both down. 1 more. That's set number 2. Set number 3, double legs lift. Up and 3/4 of the way down. If you want a little bit of a challenge, take the hand away from the floor. Ooh. 3 more. Brace, brace, brace. If you're rocking and rolling a little bit like me, bring that hand back down. 2 more. The last one. You're going to hold this one up. Set number 4 to finish. Top leg squeezes up and squeeze both together. Up, squeeze, up, squeeze. 2 to go. Last one. Good job. Bend the knees, pushing up onto the forearm. And then all the way up, we're going to bring that bottom knee forward. Take the other foot back into your mermaid position. We want to try to take the pelvis from this to this. So just think about sinking that top hip down into the floor as best you can without rolling back, so we keep the spine nice and long. Reach the arms out wide. So we're going to stretch away from the feet. Bring the arm down, holding and really lifting up from the underside of your waist. We're going to rotate the torso, reaching that arm out. The arm comes in line with the ear, and then we open wide And use those obliques to lift back off. Same again, take that reach first. Land, rotate, open, lift off. 2 more, reach, rotate, open, lift off. Last one, reach, 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 land, twist, so you're really wrapping from those front ribs, open, lifting off, and take it across into a stretch the other way, reach, 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 and let that go. To transition, just bring the knees together, take a little flip, bring it down. Let's repeat side lying. So that long line once again, feet are flexed, core is engaged, length from armpit to hip, anchor the bottom leg to start with. Set number 1 of 4, we lift up and hover. Two more. Start to energize that bottom leg because you know what's coming next this side. Ready? Second set. Top leg lifts. Bottom leg squeezes up to meet. Both come down. Hover. Don't sink back into the floor. Top leg. Bottom leg. Hover. 3 to go. Last one. All right, keeping both legs squeezing together. We lift and lengthen. 3/4 of the way down. Can you let go? One more like that. We're going to hold it here. Top leg comes up and squeeze. Up, squeeze. 3 to go. 2 and 1. Reach, reach, reach. Lower the legs down. Bend the knees. Pressing it up. Bottom knee comes forward. Other foot curls back. Ready for that mermaid. So again, we want to drop that top hip down as much as we can without sinking back. Reach the arms out wide. And let's reach away from the feet. Land the hand. And rotate. Open. And lift off. So you're really working from the waist as you lift off. Try not to push yourself off the floor with the arm. It's tempting, but try to really work through your center. One more. Reach, reach, reach. Land. Wrap from those front ribs. Open chest, screen. Lifting off. Hand comes down. Let's take it over here. And we reach, reach, reach. Let that go. Just place the hands on the front and top of the mat. Shoulder width apart, and take it over onto your tummy. We're going to finish here. We're going to take the hands in front of the face, so you can just rest your head on your hands.
Let's bring the feet hip distance apart. Take a moment just to notice whether those shoulders have shot up around your ears like mine have, and think about actively pulling them down towards your back pockets. You want to switch on the abdominals, pressing pubic bone into the mat. Energize the legs. So imagine there's something fragile beneath your knees and you're really lifting up those kneecaps to protect. We're going to work the leg closest to the screen and we're going to lift it and then bring it 3/4 of the way down. So keep the energy running here. Lift, extending out. So I really want you to feel it working at that connection, that crease at your glute. Try to avoid bending at the knee. 3 more. Lift. Lift. And then on this last one, we're going to hold it up and try to just pulse it an inch higher. Inch higher. Inch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lowering it down, still keeping the energy running. Leg furthest from the screen, lift. 3/4 of the way down. So both legs are energized here. Even though one is doing more work than the other, we're still lifting those kneecaps. And still hovering. 3 more. Pressing pubic bone into the mat. 2. On this last one, we hold it up and we pulse it up an inch. Up an inch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax for a moment. Just rock those hips. We're going to take the hands and draw them in. So you want your little fingers to line up with the inside of your mat and the same with your elbows. So our elbows are in nice and close to the ribs. Rest the nose lightly on the mat. Legs are together. Breathing in, engaging the core, anchoring down through the pubic bone. Just slide the nose forward, pressing the sternum forward as we draw the shoulder blades down the back. Baby swan. That neck nice and long, and slowly release. Exhale. So we want to use the back to lift. So try to keep those arms light in this low swan. 2 more. Think of opposition here as well. Lengthening out through the toes, sending the top of the head out, pressing the sternum forward and lower. So we've got 4 more. You can choose to keep the forearms on the mat, keep it low. Otherwise, we're going to take it up to wherever feels right for you. The arms don't have to straighten. Make sure that we keep that pubic bone and hip bones connected to the mat. Slowly. Control that descent. 3 more. Lovely stretch for the abdominals after all the core work. 2 to go. And then from here, we're going to brace the abdominals, push down into the forearms, lift the abdominals, and press the hips back to the heels into your rest position. If it feels better, you can take the knees wide, big toes together, and just sink down towards the mat. Just make any movements here that feel good. Big deep breaths in through the nose, And sigh them out through the mouth. One more time, in. And then as you let the breath go, this time just walk the hands in towards the knees. Sit back towards the heels. Lift up. Let's reach the arms up. Palms stomp together. Exhale. Hands to heart. And we made it. We're finished. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more sessions like this. You can also follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. And if you would like access to over 60 full-length Pilates classes, join me at North Down Pilates on my Patreon channel. Thanks for watching.